hides in the deepest sections of the river. It's only at this time of year that I have a chance to see them as they migrate upstream.
คุณรู้ไหมปลาบึกผสมพันธุ์ที่ไหน Nobody in this village knows anything about giant catfish.
It feels like these fish are becoming a legend, and that makes my quest even more urgent.
They haven't seen any giant catfish this year. Apparently these guys in years past, every year, a giant catfish hits their net. This year they haven't seen anything.
Where are they? My research is not very high-tech, no supercomputers, no satellites. Talking to people is one of the few ways I have to get information.
ลุงสาวสบายดีไหม กินข้าวแล้วหรือยัง
If anyone knows where fish are, it's one of the oldest men on the river, my friend, Uncle Sal.
Lung Sao is a fisherman. He's been fishing longer than anyone else in this area. And so I always come every year to talk to him about how the fishing's been. ปีนี้ลุง Sao ได้ยินเรื่องปลาบึกไหม
มันลอยอยู่หาดรุ่นขึ้นมาปลาปนให้เรา2 ตัวแล้วก็เป็นปลาบึกมันออกตั้งแล้วออกสีบัง
Wow. So he said he saw 2 giant catfish pass here 5 days ago, and he also saw another large fish, he's not sure what it was, jumping on the water. I love seeing him. I really don't understand much of what he says, but he's obviously a really nice guy and is helping me with my studies, so I come by and see him every time I'm up here.
Just up from Uncle Sal's house, I've hidden an underwater receiver. Last year, I tagged some catfish closely related to the Mekong giant, fish that I believe swim the same route every year. I'm hoping that this data will help me determine the exact spawning location.
So this is one of 17 receivers that we have along the Mekong River to monitor the movements of the fish. One of the reasons I'm so excited about downloading this receiver is right here. This is the deepest section of the Thai Mekong. The water is 50 meters deep here. It's over 150 feet. So what I'm going to do now, it's insert a probe into the receiver and download the data so we can see if any fish have passed by this location. So I just use a simple program, and then the data from this listening device will be downloaded onto my computer. Wow. Look at that. So this is exciting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 fish have passed this receiver. And once we're able to determine where the catfish are spawning, the hope is that that area will be protected.
I have to tag an adult giant catfish and hope that it leads me to its mysterious spawning ground. This population is so threatened that I've been working with the Thai and Lao governments to ban fishing for the species. Ironically, it seems that my only chance to tag a giant catfish is in the hands of local fishermen. And that's not going to be easy.
So we're here at a meeting between the Giant Catfish Fishermen's Club and the Thai Department of Fisheries. Fishermen have just realized that their permit requires them to release any fish that they catch, and also that they're only allowed to fish until May 11th, which is only a few more days.
In past years, 1 or 2 fish have been caught, and each fish is worth over $1,000. That's a lot of cash.
And from what I understand, the fishers have basically said they're going to keep fishing past the 11th. And it sounds like they also want to keep the fish and sell the fish. They're saying this is their livelihood. The price of gas has gone up. They don't have other sources of income during this time of year. But the Department of Fisheries has told them if they catch a fish after the 11th, it's going to be illegal and they will be punished.
First we heard they were fishing, and then we heard they weren't, and now we've heard they're fishing again. So we're going to go out to the island where they fish and check it out. This is an island on the Mekong. On one side is Thailand, and on the other side is Laos. I'm gonna camp out with these guys. This is the camp of the fishers that caught the record catfish in 2005. We'll see if they can do it again this year. Got some ribs on the fire. So I recognize a lot of these guys from years past. Last year, a lot of the fishers decided that because the giant catfish populations have declined, they were going to stop fishing. And the people that I'm seeing here tonight are the ones that didn't want to stop fishing. So they have their permission to fish from the Department of Fisheries. I'm going to try to convince them to release one of the giant catfish that they catch so that I can tag it and then follow its migration upstream. But I've worked with these guys before. They're fishermen. They sell the fish that they catch, so it's going to be hard to convince them. They're not bad guys, but the problem I have is that when they catch a fish, most of the time the fish dies.
I put so much effort into this trip. Its whole success is now tied with this band of merry men.
One of the guys just went over to Laos and brought back 6 liters of whiskey in a bunch of plastic bags. Looks like it's going to be a long night. Oh, open cap. Wow. Oh, it's not as smooth as usual. This is a rough batch.
Out here on the river, being able to hold your drink gets you a long way in negotiations.
It's raining, it's getting dark, and I think they're kind of drunk. We're gonna see if they can catch a giant catfish. Engine's cold. The engine's not starting, and if we keep floating like this, we're gonna end up in Laos. Doesn't sound good. The battery's dead. We gotta go back up.
For these guys, fishing and drinking goes hand in hand.
They're gonna teach me how to play cards. Oh, this is good. I think I won that time, but apparently if you lose, everyone gets to hit you. Bop.
Sam, I'm glad to meet you.
This guy lost. Bop.
Rain. Great for the catfish running. But this morning my head hurts. It really hurts. But I think last night I convinced them to let me release the fish if they catch one.
So what they're about to do, they lay a cross-channel net. We start on one side of the river, and as they play out the net, we'll cross over to the other side of the river. So any fish that are moving upstream, they're going to likely be caught in this net. This net is special just to giant catfish. What makes it different from other nets, most importantly, is the huge size of the mesh. The fish will hit it with its head, and the giant catfish's head will get stuck in these holes, and as it struggles, the spines and the fins get tangled up in this net, and the fish is caught.
I've spent 5 wet hours on the boat and not a bite. Maybe it's too late. Maybe these fish are gone forever.
Wow, look at that. Do you see that tail whipping around? Even though the giant catfish right now is the largest freshwater fish on record, personally I think that the freshwater stingray might grow even bigger than the giant catfish. We've heard stories of huge stingray in Cambodia, 300, 400, even 500 kilograms. So that's going to be our next stop, is to go down to Cambodia and see if we can't find monster freshwater stingray.
After 4 long days of waiting, just when I felt it was never going to happen.
I can't believe it. We just got a call. Apparently they have a catfish. They've caught a catfish. We want to get it tagged and back in the water. It's unbelievable.
The drinking paid off. They have agreed to let me tag and release it.
It looks like it's in pretty good shape. So we have a tag here. Gonna try to get the tag on its dorsal fin. And as soon as the tag's on the fish, then we can release it. We just need to make sure it's strong enough so that it can swim on its own. This is a transmitter we're attaching to the fin of the tag. And this tag will allow us to track the fish, but this is a huge fish. We need some pliers. Kim, my thing to pull. It's really critical. This is the best time to be tagging this fish. It's just been caught, it's played out, it's tired. And we need to get the tag on before it regains strength, because if it regains strength, it starts struggling, the fish is gonna hurt itself. It's not gonna be possible to tag it. ใส่ปลาในพลาสติกประมาณ20 นาทีปลาจะแข็งดีขึ้น and then it is 7 feet 5 inches long. We need to get a tissue sample, DNA. We need to get a fin clip. This isn't a record breaker, but it's a beautiful big fish. It's in good condition though. If any fish is gonna make it, it'll be this one. Right here, this is the only injury this fish has. So we need, hold. Can you tell them I want it to swim away on its own? We're downstream of where they're fishing. They're telling us if we release this fish, it's just going to be caught again. So obviously we have to find a solution to that. So they just agreed to stop fishing while we release this fish, and we'll have to just pray that they don't catch it again. This is good. See, it's getting its strength back. We just want to give it a little bit more time. Never seen a fish in this good condition. I didn't think we were going to get one this year. Wow, look at that. Oh, now it's going to want to go. Follow it. Wow, so it was swimming, it swam away on its own, which is what we wanted. It was sticking close to shore, and then it shot out into the middle of the river. And I could see it as it was swimming away. So what we need to do immediately now is try to relocate this fish. This is a hydrophone. It can detect the tag underwater. We're going to use this piece of equipment to see if we can find the fish we just released. If we hear a tag, it'll make a boop, boop, boop sound. Lung Piek ไปที่โน่นได้ไหม Lung Piek ช้า I suspect that it's somewhere down below where it was released, resting, and then when it gets its strength back, it will continue its upstream migration. I don't believe it's going to die. That fish was in great condition. I've never seen a fish in such good condition. That could be it. This could be the fish. There it was again. But just once. These tags, they emit 4 beeps, one after another. Beep, 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 beep. So we're listening for 4 chirps. It's a chirp, but not the chirp we're listening for.
The whole thing took 15 minutes from capture to release. He should have survived, and if he did, maybe he'll reveal the mystery of where giant catfish spawn.
เจ้าที่เจ้าฐานได้รับได้ลองเอาเดี๋ยวนี้ได้เพิ่นได้ปลาบึกมาตัวหนึ่งแล้วปลาบึกตัวนี้เพิ่นปล่อยไปมาไข่มาทั้งหมดไปทำไก่มันเดี๋ยวปล่อยไปแล้วปล่อย
It was a great day. This is probably my best day out here on the Mekong. I released a fish today. It looked really good. It's the healthiest fish that I've seen caught up here in Cheng Kong. I only had 10 days this year. I wasn't expecting to get a fish, and yet the day before I'm set to leave, the fishers managed to catch one. I couldn't be happier. It's just amazing luck to finally be able to tag and release a healthy fish. You know, I might not look happy right now, but I'm tired, but it was a really good day, a great week. Did everything that I could have wished for this week.
My search has brought me here to Phnom Penh, the capital of Cambodia, where the Tonle Sap and Mekong rivers meet. I've been studying the fish catches here for a number of years, and I think the world's largest freshwater fish may be hiding somewhere out there. The Mekong River passes through Cambodia on its way south to Vietnam, eventually emptying out into the South China Sea. It's fed by a huge lake, the Tonle Sap, known as the heart of the Mekong, a rearing ground big enough to hide the world's largest freshwater fish.
I'm on the Tonle Sap Lake in Cambodia. This is the largest lake in Southeast Asia. During the dry season, this lake is only 3,000 square kilometers, but right now, at the end of the rainy season, the lake expands 3 to 4 times and covers this entire area in front of us with water. The Tonle Sap Lake is the epicenter of Mekong fisheries and is a nursery ground for young fish. This is where fish stay during the rainy season to grow, to feed, to hide from predators. Once they grow larger, then they move out of the Tonle Sap Lake, down the Tonle Sap River and into the Mekong River to spawn.
I found this pond. It's just a few hundred meters from the Tonle Sap River.
So we've heard a rumor that there's a really big giant catfish in this pond. And so the pond owner has agreed to let us seine the pond. We've put a net all the way around. What he's told us is that it's about 100 kilos, which would be the largest fish that I've heard about in captivity. So I'm pretty excited to see if there's actually a fish in here or not. Have to be careful. Fish of this size, when they're full strength, they have spines on their fins, and I'm afraid that if it starts thrashing around, someone might get hurt.
Maybe this one's bigger than the one we tagged in Thailand.
I don't see it yet. It's hard to believe they have a 100-kilo fish in there. Whoa, there it is. Oh, it's huge. I want to get in there and try to keep it in the net. Wow. Oh, it's almost got out. The fish, I mean, you can see how powerful it was. Okay, I'm just gonna try to get this out of the water. Okay, pull up, up. I've never seen a healthy fish this big before. It's really strong. It's heavy. These spines are really dangerous. Wow, look at that. What a beautiful fish. So we need to get a fin clip as fast as we can and then get it back in the water. God, it's massive. Very small. And then we can test this fish's DNA with the fish that we collect in Thailand and see if it's coming from the same population. 1.7 meters. This is a juvenile, but it's a good sized fish, one of the biggest I've seen. That was the small fish, and you can see how powerful it was. Just flipping around its tail, it had the power just to knock one of us into the pond. It's a huge fish. It's really tough handling it. That was pretty exciting. I'm really surprised that he has this huge fish here. Where did it come from?
From Tonle Sap.
From the Tonle Sap Lake. And how long has it been in this pond?
That's 14 years.
So he harvested it with the other smaller species of catfish 14 years ago. Let's say he keeps it another 10 years. How big? 300 or 400 kilos?
In the Mekong River,
500 kilos. So that would be a fish over 10 feet long, over 3 meters long. Wow.
Phnom Penh. It's a pretty wild city. I've hooked up with an old friend and a pal of mine from the Department of Fisheries to check out some video of a big fish.
Hey, Panara, how are you doing? Good to see you again.
Yeah, see you again. Okay. Now I have a picture, stingray and some video show you.
Stingray video.
Yeah.
Great, let's see it. Wow. It's huge. Still strong. Look at it. What's it doing? That's crazy. Where is this? In Cache?
Yeah, it's good.
It's a big one.
Big, very big. From tail to the 1.84 m.
God, it's still strong.
Yeah.
This looks good. Well, this is a great sign they're catching stingrays. So let's go up to Cache and see if we can find some more.
About 250 kilometers north of Phnom Penh, Krache, on the banks of the Mekong River. The market's the best place for me to find out what's going on.
Oh, you see the huge one? See the big one there? Oh, look at that. These are all bag-rig catfish. They're predators. They have really big teeth. Really weird-looking fish, kind of like Martians. Look at the teeth on this thing. You can just tell as many people as possible that we would like to see a stingray if they catch one.
Already give the phone number.
So if it happens again, she will call us. I think I found my new career. I'm giving these ladies a little competition. So these are the Mekong giant catfish's closest living relatives. 7 different species of fish, but all very difficult to tell apart. This here is the mouth catfish. You can see why. It has sort of a mousy nose. In Thai, this is called the rubber catfish. When it feels threatened, it actually exudes a slimy rubber substance from glands it has underneath its fins. And you can see it's when it really gets going, it can produce a lot of this slime. And so it's called rubber catfish or slime catfish. And then finally the salmon catfish. This species of catfish alone, it migrates from the ocean to the Mekong River, just like a salmon would.
All right, sir. We need some.
After the market, I'm feeling hungry.
Grasshoppers.
What are they? What's it taste like?
Eat it.
Oh, it's not bad.
Not bad. Live tarantula. Some live one.
Oh,
Oh my God.
does it bite?
Wow.
You sure?
This is bad.
They're all over me. Ah, get it off me. I didn't think I was afraid of spiders, but we're in Tarantula Village. This town's famous for tarantulas.
Yes. It's a local delicacy.
At the market, we heard a story about a man who survived a run-in with a 500-kilogram stingray. I had to go and hear this story for myself.
500-kilogram fish. Could he show us?
On the bottom of the river.
It'd be like Moby Dick and Jaws rolled into one.
ពេលនឹងខ្លាចមិនតែនោះវាមិនដែលឃើញចង់និយាយថាមិនដែលឃើញវាសោះធំនឹងធ្លាប់ឃើញអស់ហើយ100 200ហ្នឹងគីឡូហ្នឹងអស់ដល់អានេះប្រហែលក្បែរ500ដល់ទៅទំនេរទៅក៏ទូកប៉ុណ្្នឹងក្នុងប្រហែលជា10ម៉ិតមកជួនលេងមកបានចំនេះបានចំបែកបាក់នេះវាទាញទៅធ្វើជាកូនមិនក៏ដែរសាច់វាទៅវាទាញទៅហើយសាច់ហៅគេជួយតបានទូកមកមួយទៀត
Look back to you.
អែបចប់ហ្នឹងគិតទៅវាចាក់មនុស្ស
The tail's whipping around. So, I mean, were they ducking or what?
ក្រៅវានៅចិត្តគល់កតុយហ្នឹងអាហ្នឹងហើយក្រៅវាប៉ុណ្្នឹង
That was the spine.
Yeah, you said the spine's about that big on the
តែ
tail.
ដឹកពេលអាដែលយើងចប់សន្ទូចលើកឡើងមកយើងភ្លេចខ្លួនវាលូកក្រោមទូកអញ្ចឹងណា
បាទ
យើងអត់ដឹងវាណាអត់ដឹងល្បិចយួរហ្នឹងលូកក្រោមទូកមកមួយហើយយួរណាស់
I'm very curious to know how big a 500-kilo stingray is. Can he show us how big that fish was?
ធ្វើត្រីហ្មងដាក់កតុយដាក់អីដាក់អី
Whoa. And how about the tail?
ទួយអី
កាលវាចំទៅណា
Here's a sponge here.
I mean, from what he remembers, it was a long time ago, 30 years ago, but he's pretty sure it was that big.
ហ្នឹងហើយ
He's sure.
ចាពេលណាដេញកាលដល់ហ្នឹងដេញខ្ញុំយកបានវាហ្នឹងណា
It's enormous. I mean, can you imagine something like that living in the river? We've been hearing stories about broken lines, broken hooks, sunken boats.
Right.
And you can see why. 4 meters wide. Let's see how long it is. Wow, it's too long. Over 8 meters long. It's incredible.
You know, you grew up hearing stories of the Loch Ness Monster and giant fish from fairy tales and movies. I have heard a lot of stories in Cambodia about giant stingrays, and I've personally seen one that was over 4 meters long. Maybe there is a modern-day monster fish. I think it's out there, and us scientists just haven't found it yet. On the way back from Krache, we come across some brave fishermen. It looks like they're fishing for stingray. It must feel terrifying out there in that small boat, knowing how big these monsters can get.
We received a phone call, and apparently they have caught a very big fish. I guess it's a giant catfish. Ay, ay, ay. Look at the head on that thing. Wow. Really incredible. The fisherman here caught a Mekong giant catfish, and here it is. It's a really big fish. You can see, I mean, the back on this thing. This is one of the biggest fish that I've seen. It's probably 9 feet long, weighs over 500 pounds. Really big specimen. And unfortunately, oh, look at the head there. Unfortunately, it was in the net for quite a long time, and so has a lot of scrapes and scars. So we're gonna try to release it and see if we can't get it to swim away, but it's such a big fish, and just looks like it. Oh man, it's huge. Still has some strength to it, but oh man, it's extremely rare to have a chance to see one of these fish, and unfortunately this fish was in the net a little bit too long, and so it's not very strong right now. It's just barely breathing, getting a little bit of water through its gills. But if I can give you a sense of how big this fish actually is. Oh, it's massive. It's about at least 8 feet long. Tail is way behind me here. Oh man. Wow. Still has a little bit of strength, but not much. Just, oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Still has a little bit of strength. We want it to be able to swim on its own before we release it. Tail on this fish is just enormous. Come on. Tag it and then release it.
Each tag has a number. If it gets recaptured, say in Thailand, I'll know where it came from.
2.4 meters.
I took him out to the center of the river and let him go. I did everything I could. Sadly, I watched him drift away into the darkness. This feels like deja vu. No fish again.
Did they ever catch any stingray?
គាត់សុំសួរអ៊ីដែលចាប់បានត្រីត្រីបបែលទេ He said no
No.
តែលេខ12ធំប៉ុន្តែអត់ទេណោះ
Wow. So, like, she said, I heard her say it's very big.
Big, yeah.
So they're here. It sounds like they keep saying, oh, I saw one last year, I saw one the year before.
Yeah.
But it's not like they see them all the time. I just want to ask her for some advice. We're looking for a stingray. We only have 1 week. Can she give us some advice about how we can find a stingray?
ងាយធ្វើមិនបានវាទេ
She said I don't really know it's hard to get them
So I don't know what to do.
ខ្ញុំសុំមិនបានត្រី
The stingray has only been known to science for about 20 years. I would say only 100 people on Earth who know anything about the stingray, and most of them are the fishermen that we've been talking to. Nothing is known about its behavior, about its migratory patterns, its growth rates, and yet it could be the largest freshwater fish on Earth, and we know almost nothing about it.
It's been a really grueling few weeks for me, physically and mentally. All I have heard are stories and legends of the giant stingray. I haven't seen many signs of a healthy ecosystem, one that these megafish can survive in. It really worries me for the future. We have only 2 days left, and I wonder if I'll ever get to see a giant stingray. We got a call. It's a stingray.
So the fish is here?
yes
Attached to this
I'm
rope?
so excited. I've never handled a live stingray before.
Look at that. Oh, it's strong. Oh, it's great condition.
I have to be really careful.
Is it deep here? Oh, man. This species of stingray is also called a freshwater whip ray because this tail is like a whip and it whips around. This species has the longest spine of any species of ray, up to 15 inches long. The spine fits in this groove here on the back of its tail. And this fish probably had a spine about 6 inches long. And this species is not normally aggressive. The only way that you can really get stung is actually by stepping on it. And if it's threatened and it can't get away, bam. This species of giant stingray, even though it could be the largest freshwater fish on Earth, we didn't even know anything about it until 20 years ago. And since it's been described, almost nobody has seen one of these fish alive. This is actually really exciting. This is almost like the beginning. I mean, just getting an idea that these species still exist. Okay, so she got a length just across here, a 1.41 meters. Wow, 2.4 meters, 94 inches. Wow, that's a long fish. So let's try to tag it and release it. This is tag number 3337. We've heard stories of fish much larger than this, but man, even this fish, God, it's impressive to think that something like this can live in the Mekong River. Makes you think twice about getting it in. Yeah, just trying to get a look at the underside of the fish. Very strange mouth. And as the fish swims on the bottom of the river and uses its sense of smell to find prey in the sand. Most stingray have very sharp teeth. They can crush things like shrimp and crabs or shells in their mouth. Don't want to get our fingers in there. I'm hoping it's going to swim away, so that's what we're waiting for now. Oh, there, oh, here he goes.
He's going swimming. Look at that.
Oh, excellent. Wow. Our network's working, the fishermen are cooperating. That's our first fish, and it was still alive, tagged it, released it back to the river. Really good job.
Great.
I'm back where I started my journey, in the Golden Triangle. It's been an incredible trip, truly amazing. For the first time ever, I've tagged a rare Mekong giant catfish. A beautiful fish, over 2 meters long.